Live from WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 7.
It is 7 a.m. on this Friday morning. I'm Nicole, Nalepa, and we're following all of the top stories for you. Our state's COVID-19 positivity rate is now above 6%, the highest level we've seen since June.
I look hard to find a silver lining, and I can't find it in these numbers.
30 towns and cities are now in red alert level, which is causing many communities to consider moving back to phase 2. We're going to have more on those stories, but first we do want to start you off with an early morning weather alert. So what can we expect, Scott?
Snow. You can expect snow throughout the early afternoon. It is already snowing in parts of northwest and northeast Connecticut. Hi, everybody. Good morning. There's a winter weather advisory in effect until at least noon for northern Connecticut. A freeze warning goes into effect tonight as the temperatures are expected to drop through the day today, and then tonight the numbers are going to be in the upper teens and low to mid 20s, and that means the growing season comes to an end for everybody. All right, roads are wet, mostly cloudy. It's raining out there right now at 7:01, but we are seeing a little bit of snow up in northern Connecticut. Some snow for you in Norfolk and in the Heartlands. Good morning to you. It is snowing up here in Canaan and in Salisbury, and now in Sharon and Goshen and Heartland. It's creeping further from north to south. Also starting to see a little bit of a changeover now in northwest Connecticut. I just got an email from a viewer in Thompson, Connecticut, that they've got some of that snow out there as well. So we'll take you in right now. Grosvenor, Woodstock. You've got Thompson itself. Good morning to you, North Ashford. You are dealing with some rain and some mixed snow. So be careful driving around this morning. The visibility is not great. It's not horrendous, but it's also not great. When you got that rain coming up, it does reduce that visibility. All right, so as we move through the day today, whoa, the temperature's not getting out of the mid 30s. That's a pretty chilly day there. And you can see the icons, rain and snow. Should be mostly snow from about 8 o'clock this morning until about noontime today. And then we'll start to see a gradual tapering off of the snow as we move through the latter part of the afternoon. And then tonight, again, it gets really cold, and any standing water out there is going to have an opportunity to freeze up really fast. Slush on the roadways, especially in northwest and northeast Connecticut, could freeze up. So you want to be careful driving around tonight. Temperatures out there this morning, well, it is chilly, and those numbers continue to drop into the low to mid to upper 30s. You've got a couple of lower 40s out there, but you know what? It is raw out there, and we are colder than yesterday by anywhere from 9 to 13 degrees colder than where we were yesterday. And you'll remember yesterday was a pretty nasty start. The winds, look at the winds, sustained anywhere from 15 to 16 to 17 miles an hour. And there are gusts out there to 24, 26 miles an hour. So you're going to have to hang on to your hat because it is windy, it is raw, it is nasty out there. Here's our Hartford eye cam. You can see the camera moving around just a little bit. Stores basically wet at this point. You've got some scattered showers out there in stores. And look at the New Haven eye cam. That is really rocking with that wind down there along the shoreline. So again, hang on to your hat. Satellite and radar confirms we do have the snow. It's pushing in from the cold air is pushing in from the north. The moisture is coming in from the south and west. Look at all that heavy rain in New Jersey that has to make its way into Connecticut. So get ready. Early warning futurecast. Tomorrow's weather today keeps the snow around through noon till about 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's gone. And we are expecting clear skies tonight and very chilly temperatures. So here's what we're thinking in terms of snowfall totals: 1 to 3 for northwest Connecticut, northeast Connecticut, according to 1 to possibly 2 inches on the grassy surfaces in central Connecticut, maybe a little slush on the highways, and little to none for the shoreline. Daytime highs, we've achieved them. They're dropping back now. Morning rain to snow. It's going to be windy and raw. The sun was up. Good luck trying to find it at 7:21. Sun sets at 5:47. It will be a beautiful sunset. Tomorrow, Halloween, looks great. 48 degrees. It's going to be chilly. Look at those overnight lows. So the trick-or-treaters are going to be out there. Temperatures are going to be between about 35 and 42 degrees, depending on what part of the state you're in. The kids are going to need the winter coats. Sunday, mostly cloudy but milder with a high of 58 with a chance for showers. Monday and Tuesday, cold. I mean, we're talking about 42 degrees for Election Day. That is winter coat weather as you're on your way to the polls. All right, that's a quick check of your early morning forecast. I'm meteorologist Scott Haney at Channel 3. Nicole, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Scott. Our team coverage continues now in Torrington, where we are taking a live look from our eye cam there. You can see it's looking wet, and of course, we're tracking those snowflakes for you. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Caitlin Nuclo has more on how crews there are preparing for the snow and how they're also trying to deal with the pandemic at the same time.
This week, Torrington's Department of Public Works sent out their fleet on plow routes throughout the city to survey areas. They were looking for potential obstacles like raised structures or low-lying branches. Crews, though, are also dealing with COVID-19 this year, so there are extra safety measures in place. They have to wear masks, disinfect vehicles, and social distance. And the same thing is happening in Litchfield. The Public Works Department there tells us they're ready to pre-treat roads if necessary. Folks who live around here have mixed feelings, though, about this October winter weather.
Hopefully it melts as fast as it comes down. Anything's possible. We're in New England.
Oh my gosh, I mean, it's right on time, I think, you know. The weather's getting cooler, and I mean, I'm hoping for a white Christmas this year.
Caitlin Nuclo, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now we turn to the latest on the coronavirus. The state's positivity rate, as we mentioned, is now the highest since June. It is 6.1%. But the number of deaths and hospitalizations also continue to go up. There have been 5 more lives lost. Hospitalizations are now up by 12, so that leaves us with a total of 321 hospitalizations. Now, with the positivity rate continuing to climb, cities and towns across the state are having to make some tough decisions about the availability of business in areas that might not necessarily be considered essential. Eyewitness News reporter Mark Robbins has the latest on how Hamden is dealing with a significant increase in COVID cases.
The biggest reversal will come immediately from New Haven, where schools were planning on having students back on campus starting November 9th.
Other school systems are open, even though they're red or they're orange. Why is New Haven doing that? I must say from the get-go, we have always said that we will allow the science to guide what we do. And that's exactly what we're following. So I know there's a lot of disappointment that is out there on every side, but I think it's the right decision.
In Hamden, stepping back to phase 2 is going to be a big hit to small businesses like salons and restaurants. Public gathering sizes will be reduced, and of course, profits go down, way down.
What can I do about it? You know, it's just, we just hope that everybody does their part. You can't plan for something like this. You just take it as it comes.
It allows us just to grab people's attention and say, you really have to start taking this seriously again.
Mark Robbins, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And Channel 3 is your election authority. President Trump and Joe Biden will be campaigning in the upper Midwest today, just a day after both candidates were in Florida to deliver their closing arguments to voters. Channel 3's Nancy Chen has the latest on the campaign trail now from Washington.
The race for the White House is being fought on familiar territory.
5 days from now, we are going to win Florida.
If Florida goes blue, it's over. It's over.
The presidential campaigns converged on the Sunshine State Thursday, holding rallies in Tampa just a few hours apart.
I've never been more optimistic about America and America's chances than I am today, because I know the American people.
We are doing great. Do you see the number today? 33.1 GDP. The biggest in the history of our country.
While President Trump focused on positive economic data.
We locked down, we understood the disease, and now we're open for business.
Democratic nominee Joe Biden emphasized the White House's handling of the coronavirus.
Donald Trump has waved the white flag, abandoned our families, and surrendered to the virus.
Today, both candidates will be in the upper Midwest, a region where COVID-19 cases are spiking. Yesterday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi formally ended pandemic relief talks with the Trump administration.
I feel very confident that Joe Biden will be elected president on Tuesday. So while we don't want to be overconfident or assume anything, we have to be ready for how we are going to go down a different path.
While negotiating a new relief bill, Pelosi and the Trump administration remained at odds over testing, aid to local governments, and business liability. Nancy Chen, CBS News, Washington.
There are already 2.3 million people registered to vote here in Connecticut. That's the highest number ever. And the state has already seen more than 545,000 absentee ballots. Starting today, towns are allowed to start opening up envelopes with absentee ballots. But with COVID cases spiking across the state, many people want to know if it's even safe to head to the polls.
There will only be a few people allowed in at a time in a polling place. Everyone will have to wear a mask, or at least will certainly be asked to wear a mask very strongly.
And as long as you are in line before 8 o'clock in the evening, you can register to vote on Election Day. The Secretary of the State also says we'll likely see election results by midnight, but local election officials actually have until Thursday to finish counting. And now this morning, Halloween, of course, is tomorrow, and medical experts are urging kids to avoid traditional door-to-door trick-or-treating. Some cities like Hartford and New Haven have even asked families to stay home altogether. But there are some fun alternate ways you can celebrate. You can take part or host a virtual Halloween party or costume contest with your friends and family. There are trunk-or-treat events also happening in many communities, so make sure to check them out on the Channel 3 app. Thank you so much for tuning into Eyewitness News on this Friday morning. Scott is very busy tracking the latest, so make sure to keep that Channel 3 app handy and keep Channel 3 on for any updates on the weather today. Have a great weekend. Have a safe Halloween. We'll see you back here Monday morning.